There you go.
We are live on YouTube. We are recording. We are excited to welcome everyone today to the launch for Beacon of Leadership. We've been working hard on this, preparing something exciting for you guys. Um, the podcast, it really is more than a podcast, but this is the launch of our communication. Nope, something's everyone today.
Yeah, sure. You good? RJ, you good there?
Hold on.
Yep.
No, I'm getting a double broadcast.
What do you mean?
I gotta figure that out. So when I go live, what happens is it pumps it out to YouTube, so it's already playing, it's already audio. There's an annoying situation we're gonna have to solve. But yeah, this is all part of the punches when you run a podcast live as we are trying to do. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today on this inaugural episode. You can find our podcast uploaded on all your major platforms. iTunes takes a little longer to approve, I think, so we're not quite approved on iTunes. But we are up on all of your major podcasts, and you can find us on Buzzsprout, by the way. So our website for that is www.beaconofleadership.com.buzzsprout or beaconofleadership.buzzsprout.com. So if you can go there, you can download the 4 inaugural episodes that we have already up and loaded, and we'll have another episode, this one, up and loaded by tomorrow. So very excited for that. Again, this is a culmination of everything we've been working for months, actually. I mean, since we started Live and Love Life Leadership, this has been an evolution, has it not, Curtis?
Yes.
Curtis, when did we start this mission together? Do you remember?
About a year and a half ago, I think.
I think it was about that, yeah. No, in fact, a little more than that. It was 2.5 years ago, because we held our first event in 2020, January of 2020. So it would have been like August of 2019 when we started this up. So 2.5 years of an evolution for first we were living life leadership, then we started running the events, and now we are launching the new platform, Beacon of Leadership.
Yeah.
So I thank everybody for being a part of this, and I'm looking forward to what today will be. I was really hoping that we're going to have a celebration today. I've invited many people out. I hope they'll join us throughout the evening. I've planned it for 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. today. It might not take that long, right? We may not run that long, but that was the plan, because I would love for people to come out, be introduced. You also pointed out some technical difficulties. We may not get these people on because there seems to be some login issues, but we're going to roll with the punches. We're going to put on a show for you today. Hopefully it's going to be very exciting. So the first thing I want to do is introduce you and I. I'll let you go first. Because I like to talk, you know that. So I can talk about myself. So Curtis, let people know who you are, what it is you do, what is your passion, and then how do you serve people and why?
All right. So my name is Curtis Leong. I am an author of a book, award-winning author for a book, ABCs to a Positive Life, Simple Guide to Winning Mindset. I wrote that about 2 years ago, and it's all about being positive. Way back when I used to work in construction, still do kind of, but I was always angry about stuff. And I just want to figure out a way to make myself be a better person and not be always angry. So I started some research in that, and I went to an event. There was a gentleman there selling a book, or how to write a book. So I was like, I'll take it. And he said, what do you want to be for your future self? And I want to be more positive. So that's the book I wrote. It's awesome. What do I like to do? I love tech stuff. I like learning things. I guess I'm kind of like a mechanical type person. I like to work with my hands and my mind and try to figure out how things work or how to make them work better. So the technical issues we're having today, I'll probably look at later and figure it out.
And absolutely, yeah. You've become awesome as our tech guy and managing to get us operational and get certain tech ideas or protocols figured out. So that was
Yeah,
amazing.
not always, but 90% of the time you figure it out. Or I can always ask somebody too, right? You never know.
Yeah,
There's always support out there and help desks that know more than you do. So I use
for
those.
sure. Those chat guys are really helpful, aren't they?
They are for sure.
So or why do you serve? Why is it so important for you to help these people become more positive?
I just think that people can change their mindset. I think it's if once you know how to do something, you can change it. If you don't know, then you need to know. And just by putting yourself out there, say, hey, you gotta change the way you think or how you feel about something. People say, oh, I can do something different. And it gives sometimes people have a light bulb comes on. It's like, oh yeah, I can be different. Let's do it. What do I need to do? And other people's like, oh, what do I do? I'm grumpy. But then a few weeks later, it's like, oh yeah, yeah, this Curtis guy told me about this thing. I remember because it's happened to me for my construction working. And it's not people, why you always positive? Why you always like happy? Why you do this? Like, well, and I start telling people, it's all in your mind. If you want to be happy, you got to decide to be happy. You can't let other things let you take you down. And it's like, really? How do you do that? She's like, well, you just do things. It's just it's how you teach people, right? You don't give all your secrets out at first.
Well, you know what? When we're out there in public and having that conversation, please give out your secrets. You know what I mean? At that moment, again, you know what? I know we want coaches or we want clients. We want to help people, but at the same time, I personally, I find the need to help people when I can. So, you know, if I can offer some advice in the moment and help people change their life, because again, like you say, first of all, it's a decision, right?
Yeah.
Make that decision. I'm not going to live this way. I know my journey started much like yours. I was an angry, pissed off man, blamed the world for my problems. And it started with one thing, one thought in mind, and that there has to be a better way.
Yep. That's usually how it starts.
Yep. And
Everybody's
then,
I think a lot of people are the same idea. There just comes a point where it's like, I need to do something different. And then you just find that way.
and I will say, you know what, that was part of my problem. I used to tell my wife, because I mean, she said, why are you like this? Why can't you be different? Why can't? And I kept saying, you know what, I don't know how to be any different. This is me. You know what I mean? I'm not being mean. I'm not being malicious. I'm frustrated and angry most of the time, but I don't know how to be any different.
Yeah.
So you know what? I think it starts with the choice, and then little things day after day that'll help you improve your thought
But
process.
don't forget, we also talk to ourselves meanly. Generally speaking, if you're angry, you're also very angry at yourself. And you talk to yourself very meanly. And a lot of people don't realize that they're doing that. So self-talk is also a very key point into changing how you think and feel is by changing how you talk to yourself. Because I'm sure if you ever were able to listen to how you talk to yourself, you would probably not want to be that person on the other end. I'm quite sure about that.
I'll tell you, that was how I opened my eyes. As my wife said, you should record yourself sometime. Now, I didn't record myself. I didn't take that step.
But you
But just
started.
the fact that she was saying that said, you know what, maybe there's something here I need to listen to and see what I'm saying. Because we are our own worst critic, right? No matter what, we're critical individuals. Whether we're using negative self-talk
Yeah.
or we're trying to reinforce ourselves with positive self-talk, we're still being critical. We're saying, okay, I'm doing this. Why am I doing this? I need to do this. So we're always talking to ourselves. So it is good to tell yourself in a positive manner, or
For
you know, keep
sure.
positive and
Absolutely.
keep working towards that positive lifestyle.
Yes, absolutely.
So thank you for that, Curtis. I'm
Oh,
glad people got the opportunity to get to know you.
excellent.
Um, And then, so I'm RJ Horner. I'm a co-founder, co-host here in Beacon of Leadership, which is a platform we have created as an evolution over the last 2 years, 2+ years. So, and I started this journey again, like I said, peeved off, angry at the world, and there had to be a better way. And that's almost 10 years ago now. And my boss had told me at the time, because I was struggling. I couldn't, like I said, I didn't know how to behave differently. And I had this woe is me attitude. You know what I mean? Always alas, and oh God, this is the way it is. Why has these things happened to me? And my boss said, you know what, enough with the woe is me attitude. You know what I mean? Cut it out. And he said to me, I said, I don't know how to be different. He said, you know what? You're one of the smartest people I know. You're one of the most well-read people I know. Why don't you pick up a book on the subject?
Nice.
And wow, eye opener, because in fact, my counselor, thankfully, I changed my life through counseling. My wife and I had one more fight, one more argument, and I thought, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not fighting anymore. I'm not arguing anymore. I need to change. So I sought counseling, and my counselor was recommending books to me too. But so they say when you're on the, when you see a sign, it's because you're meant to see that sign. You're on the frequency of it, is what Brian Tracy likes to say. So I saw a book the very next day called Make Today Count by John C. Maxwell. That book changed my life. It's a little, mini book. John Maxwell writes many. He's written over 30 books at this point. He writes many books, but that one book, Make Today Count, led to so many others. It actually led to Think and Grow Rich was the very next read I had because it was in John Maxwell's book. And again, you know what? One book leads to another. And then eventually I started picking up audio tapes and MP3s. And there is so much information out there that we can learn, at least on our own, and at that time, I didn't know what to learn. I didn't have a guide with me. It was just one book was telling me to read another book, and pick up more information. So I am a student of personal development. I have learned so much. Have I learned it all? I doubt I have. There's so much more information out there that I could ever pick up. One of our teachers is here tonight, and you'll meet him shortly, but he's always filling us with more information that we thought we knew. We thought we had the answers, but when he asks us a question and we give out an answer, and it's like, that's close. That's a good representation. And then let me tell you, a different answer.
Yeah.
So there's always more to learn out there. As much as I learned most of it by myself, at least for a good large portion of the journey. It wasn't until about 4 years or so ago that I really discovered and learned about mentors and coaching. I knew coaching was out there, but it was always something that I had never considered for myself. First of all, it costs money. You got to pay for training for a coach. So it does cost money. But at the same time, then there's it just seemed like it wasn't an option, put it that way. So it was out of the realm of possibility for me. But then the next thing I discovered was seminars. In fact, you mentioned the guy who led you to write your book.
Yeah.
Go ahead and mention his name.
Raymond Aaron.
Raymond Aaron and his 10-10-10 program. In fact, I think at least one of our speakers or presenters here tonight.
Most people know who he is.
Yeah, I think, they all know him, but I think we have more than one author of the 10-10-10 program here tonight. But yeah, Raymond Aaron was my first seminar ever.
Oh, cool.
I got to meet John DeMartini and Bob Proctor. In fact, I met Amit that day and his lovely wife, Swapna. It was actually Swapna's book launch on that date. So I'm very excited because, again, that led to a connection that would change the rest of my life.
It's funny.
Up until this present day. Sorry, say that again.
At that time, you probably didn't know what level you'd be at when you first met him.
For sure. I didn't even know what seminars were all about. I didn't know what I was becoming involved in, right?
Okay.
But that weekend seminar, again, Bob Proctor, you know what I mean? Dr. DeMartini, just powerful personalities. And then they teach some of the, so many people out there. And of course, I have learned from students of Raymond Aaron, right? So, and Bob Proctor. I'm very connected with many students from those circles. So, and as I'm sure are you.
Yes.
So that's the journey that led me to become the RJ Horner that people are getting to know. And it hasn't been a walk in the park, right? Like I said, for most of that part, it was on my own. But when I discovered mentors, when I discovered coaching, that changed the world. So much so that, and we'll get into discussions of what it is. And then we'll also introduce, at some point today, I want to introduce many of the people we know in our community. I know several of them have already joined and they're standing by, they're watching with excitement, I'm sure, as we are. But I want to get into Beacon of Leadership. First of all, we are Beacon of Leadership. You and I have created this company together. Well, you can find us at www.beaconofleadership.com. Of course, if you add /podcast, you'll find out about our podcast. If you add /members, you can find out about our membership. And I'm going to talk more about that today because that's really what we're promoting here today. We want you to be what we are calling a lifetime VIP founding member of Beacon of Leadership. So if you join this year, you will be a member for lifetime with only one payment ever. Now, we will offer you products, but we'll offer you discounts. But as for a membership fee, if you join this year, it's going to be a one-time payment. So very excited about that.
In on it while you can still.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll talk more about that later on.
Yeah.
So who's a beacon of leadership? Who would you think represents a beacon of leadership?
Just someone who's out there. They know them in public. They help people, guides them, make sure they're going the right direction. They don't crash into the rocks of life, I guess. Right?
That's a good way to put it.
They help people go in the right direction. And
that's a good way to put it, because what is a beacon when you think about it? When you hear the term beacon,
middle of rocks all around the world.
Yeah, you're thinking of that lighthouse or that shining light that's going to guide you into a direction and guide you in a certain path, right? Or give you a warning of something that's out there ahead of you, right? So avoid this and don't go here. That's what a beacon is. So the leaders out there, and this is why we chose Beacon of Leadership, because the leaders are they're doing those things. They're warning people that, you know what, life will be like this if you don't do something different. Life will change. Life will be harder. Life will be more difficult if you don't do this, if you don't go here. Or they're saying, you know what, come with me, I'll show you the way. Walk with me, it's safer down this path, right? And we'll walk together. That's kind of what the Beacon of Leaderships are all about. So then I wanted to talk about who we are. Again, we are Beacon of Leadership. We've created this company. We've created an entire mission around it. So what are we? First of all, one of our taglines is we are shining the light on your leadership. We want to bring leaders into the light. We want to bring people to that better life, to that better path. And so that's why we're helping the leaders out there, the coaches, authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs. And so I like to say we offer case studies. Do you remember why I said case studies with capitals on the word case?
I forget what it means, but I know it's an acronym for what we're about.
It's for who we serve.
Yeah.
We serve the coaches, authors, speakers, entrepreneurs. And then so you've heard the term case studies. So we're going to learn from these coaches, authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs. So that's why I say we do case studies, because that's who we serve. That's who we are learning from. It's a very interactive community here. We learn from one to give to another. We have many leaders who are who have things to teach us that we have yet to learn. So we learn from them in order to be able to serve those who need us most. And right now, it's never been a more vital time for leaders to step forward, for quality leaders who are going to help serve in a positive direction and help change this world for the better. One of my quotes that I love, in fact, it's what guided me to this, is it's strange that the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are usually the ones who do.
Yep.
That's a Steve Jobs quote. And you know what? I'm crazy enough to think I can change the world. Now, I can only change the world doing what I can do. I can't affect everyone out there. And that's why I say I may not be the coach for everybody, because there are coaches out there who can help people learn, grow, and develop. And it's up to us to pass that message on, to look, I'm not the best. I can't teach people business. I learn business, but I can't teach people business. But our coach, Amit, he can teach people business. Health and wellness. We have many speakers out there. One of them is here today who can teach people how to live a better, healthier life. So that's what it's all about. It's not only us coaching. We're going to develop our clients as we go along, but we want to pass on those other coaches. We want you to connect with them because we want you to receive that valuable leadership and coaching that you need to help you grow. And so that's why we created this community where we are also helping leaders step aboard their leadership. And then we bring your leadership to light. That's what we do here. Our purpose, we are shining the light on leadership. We serve coaches, authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs with case studies, support, guidance, training, inspiration, and empowerment for thought leaders as they embrace and nurture their brilliance. That's our purpose. That's why we exist. We exist to help these thought leaders become better, become stronger, become more developed in order to serve better. Because again, we're really looking to serve the client and serve those people who need us most. My vision, this is my personal vision. We've adopted it here in Beacon of Leadership. In fact, we started with it with Live and Love Life Leadership. And that's working together for a better tomorrow. I was given this vision many years ago. And I didn't know, I was always working towards it. I didn't know all of this was going to come about. I just knew that somehow it was my mission to unite us, to help us work together. Because when we work together, the future is better out there. We can do things. Look, on my journey of personal development, I grew quite a lot. But until I discovered other people who could help me along that journey, I was still lost. I was still lonely out there. I didn't know what I was doing. But then other people joined me and showed me a path that was different from what I was able to learn on my own. And I mean, it's exponential since then, the growth that I've experienced. So that's what we're existing here, is working together for a better tomorrow. And then our mission, we empower today's thought leaders to develop their leadership skills and abilities. We offer the opportunity to connect and collaborate with fellow leaders in live, online, and in-person events. We provide knowledge and case studies from the experiences of creative leaders so that they can confidently learn, grow, and develop and empower those they serve. So that's our mission. Again, I think we've covered that. People can get a good idea of why we exist here in Beacon of Leadership, why we've created what we believe to be a valuable program that I hope people are going to get the experience of, and we can really continue to serve in the way we have planned. So I'm excited about it, Curtis. I hope you are too.
Yes, I am. It's pretty awesome.
And today is just the launch. We've already had 4 episodes if you've been able to join us the last 4 Fridays, because we wanted to build up our content. We wanted you to be excited about what we were creating here. So if you go to beaconofleadership.buzzsprout.com, you can download, like I said, the 4 episodes that we've already got loaded and find some panel discussions and one interview that, again, we're excited to present in this community. So, and then we'll talk about some of the values that we believe in here is continuous improvement, growth and development, and leadership.
Yep.
We want to promote these things. These are values that we believe are important, and we created our community around it. Of course, there is collaboration. We'd be nothing without collaboration and creativity. Of course, we believe in community. We created this community for you, based on caring and consideration of others. And then we want goals-oriented people belonging to our community. We want to help you achieve your goals, so it's better to have that goals-oriented focus. Of course, being solution-focused instead of obstacle-focused. You know what I mean? If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem, right? So look for a solution in everything. Of course, we believe in responsibility. We want to empower people, so empowerment is important to us. Mentoring and coaching, we would be nowhere without mentoring and coaching. So we promote that here. Of course, positive influence, right? Negativity has no place, truthfully. And now I'm not saying to immediately, oh, you can't be negative, because as you mentioned, Curtis, it is a process, right? Some people don't know how to behave any differently. But I can tell you this, we will start teaching people that here. We will start letting people know that they can walk out of this misery or this struggle that they're experiencing and walk towards that light, walk towards that better life that they're seeking.
Perfect.
And then what we do here, we're built on contribution and service, right? We're here to serve people. We're here to help them build a better life. So we want to contribute. And all of the people who are joining us here today want to contribute to help you build that better life.
Yeah.
And then what I like to believe are two of my greatest qualities: authenticity and vulnerability. Now, I'm very authentic, sometimes too authentic. I'm very real. I speak sometimes too much from my own, from my heart, and tell people sometimes things they don't want to hear. So that has cost me, but I believe in, if you can treat people tactfully, that authenticity and integrity comes with great responsibility and great
Absolutely.
benefits. And
Yeah.
then finally, vulnerability. I'm I tell my story openly, and I know that by me telling my story, I'm serving others. I'm adding greater benefit to their life because I'm willing to admit the struggles I've experienced and how I got through them. And of course, what they did to me at the time, because without understanding that, you wouldn't understand the similarities, the things you're experiencing that maybe you're not seeing. But by me putting it out there, you're like, oh wow, he did this. Yeah, I'm doing. Oh my God, I'm doing that. Right. So these things do happen. So that's why we believe in all of these values that we've presented people today.
Right on.
Um,
Sounds good there, RJ. So what's next on the agenda for today?
so again, we've talked about who we serve. We don't have to discuss that anymore. We're here to help the coaches, authors, speakers, entrepreneurs to become better leaders.
Perfect.
The question is, why do we serve? Why are we looking to serve these people?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, like I said, it's never been more important for leaders to step forward, to become that leader. We need people who can lead people out of this darkness that we're experiencing. There's so much darkness going on in the world right now, with war in the Eastern world. We've just passed this disease globally. Some of the political uprising that's been happening, in the U.S. as well as in the East. Just there's a lot of stuff going on, and we need people to be able to help walk people through this journey.
For sure.
And you may not think that you're a leader or you're that leader, or it's not up to you, or it's not my responsibility. But you know what? Again, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
And I say everyone is a leader. Look, even if you're like, oh well, I'm not a parent, I'm not a teacher, I'm not a boss, I don't have a job, I'm not responsible to anybody. Doesn't matter. You're still a leader. First of all, you are self-leading. You are leading yourself through this journey. So you are a leader. No matter what, you are a leader. So why not learn to serve others, to serve those people who would need your help? If you have a story to tell, if you have a growth journey to experience, sharing that journey with other people not only helps you mend and grow, but by teaching it back, you grow exponentially. You learn it all the more, and you learn new things, even from those people you're going to serve. So you are a leader, and we are here to serve those leaders. Whether you're a coach, author, speaker, entrepreneur, or you're none of those things. Maybe you're an uncle, you know what I mean? Just Joe average walking through life who needs a little help. Again, by learning from others and serving others. That was one of the things that really started me going, was learning to volunteer. And one of the people I volunteer with is here tonight, so we're going to learn from him more about volunteering and how to help and give back that way. Because again, that's a way to help walk out of your struggles. How do you get out of your own misery? By going out there and serving others and doing things for other people.
Do you want to have any of the guests come on today?
I will momentarily, because we're going to actually start about that very second. But how do we serve? Like I said, first of all, we have our podcast. This is just an informational series. Sometimes it'll be you and I, Curtis, just having discussions. But I really want to focus on those interviews. As you mentioned, we've got many people in our community who have tremendous value to share. And so I want people to get their experiences and learn from them. So that's how we serve them. And then, of course, we're working on some training courses. We have our Better Life events. Don't forget, we have Better Life events where we host quarterly events. We've just finished our second event. We're working on our third in July. I'll tell people more about that. Sorry.
What's the date for that one?
It's July 23rd. I'll tell people that right now is our next Better Life event. So I'll talk more about that after.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we're working on some training programs and some masterminds, a book club. These are the things we're working to put together so that people can really get value from this community and grow as leaders. That's why we exist. That's how we serve.
Perfect. Awesome.
So yes, I did want to start introducing some of our amazing presenters, some of our people who have joined us. Some people have been in and out, so we didn't have everybody who was here with us. I hope, anybody who's left us in the last 20 minutes, half hour, if they can come back on, if they can find their way to come back out and join us. And of course, anybody out there who's watching, please come out and join us. Let's learn about you. I've given the link out there. I've tried to get as many people here as I could to have that experience, to really understand that we are a community. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was great. I'm glad we are doing this. Helping people out is awesome. And leadership, sometimes I think people who are leadership do find themselves in positions where they don't realize that they do get depressed, and they just need someone to give them a little helping hand or a little encouragement. Lots of entrepreneurs have the same issues. A lot of them might be a little ADD, so sometimes they need a little boost too. They get unfocused, and sometimes you just need someone, hey, you need to focus on this. Come on out and join us. So.
On that note, something we started to try a while back and we weren't successful. I know it's important to you, and we'll probably try that again. It's a matter of scheduling when we can get, again, we're trying to work on so much. We're working on full-time jobs. We're doing this event or initiative in our part-time, in our spare time. But so to find time to do these masterminds and these groups and all these events, we need to schedule it. So we tried to set up an accountability tribe. The group still exists, but again, we haven't been able to set up those meetings, schedule them to a time that's suitable for everybody to attend. Because I believe accountability in the work we're doing is very important.
Absolutely.
And having each other to hold each other accountable is very vital to our growth and to our existence as coaches and authors.
For sure.
Etc. So yeah. Next, I'll introduce the one who's most important to us. I think we are students of his. I'm hoping he's available and not just on pause there. We are students of business. We've been learning all we can about putting together business and sales and other efforts like that. We would be nowhere without Amit Ambegaonkar. He is the founder of Your Profound Solutions, and again, I can say lots about him. I can, because, and I'll get your opinion in a sec, Curtis, because again, I have learned so much. We learned from him 2 classes a day, plus all the posts he put out weekly, constant information. And like I said, it's that information that we thought we knew something about this. We thought we had some vital information, but he constantly puts it to us that, yeah, that's a good idea. You're getting close. You've got the idea, but here's some more information for you. But again, we would be nowhere without him. So, Curtis, what's your opinion of Amit?
He's awesome. What I like most about him is that he always challenges you, and he really clarifies things in a way that it may be simple in hearing it, but when you actually look at it, it's more complex. It goes really deep that you don't really think about. And then in the end, it's just like, oh, hey, why didn't I think of that before? So it gives you like aha moments every once in a while. It's really, really, really interesting because you don't really think of it, but they're there. Like, and he calls them wins. Some people call them aha moments, but he calls them wins. And lots of us have wins, even during our classes. It's amazing. It sometimes gives me goosebumps what we get through the class. And I was like, hey, that is so cool. Goosebumps going on. I was like, it must be something very special there.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
He helps us celebrate and encourages us to celebrate our wins. But what I love most is he over delivers, right? We are now on, I think it's class 19 or 20 of a 12 training class session. Because you know what? First of all, one of his policies is don't let something go by. Like if you don't understand it, tell me. And then we'll talk through it. We'll work through it. So he makes sure we understand all these concepts that he's teaching us. So again, I think we've said a lot about you at this point, Amit. tell us what we haven't said at this point. Again, Amit Ambegaonkar, founder of Your Profound Solutions.
Wow, I'm so honored, so blessed to be here. RJ and Curtis, you
Thank
definitely
you.
are achieving milestones, and you're helping a lot of people. And I'm so proud to be in this position of working with you as your coach, as your mentor, and guiding you through this process of undergoing this massive growth. And the thing that I need you to look at is the reason why you are doing so good is because you are so open to gaining this information. You have this open mind that you want to progress. You want that, you have that willingness that you want to help other people. And that's a major thing. The other major thing is you take action based on the information that you're getting, the data that you're collecting. Okay, so these two go together very closely together, and that's why you see the results. Now, the last part I want to tell you is when you're saying about that you get these aha moments and these wins that you create in my classes. These are amazing. I mean, I love when you have these wins. I need you to understand that these wins are created because this information was already there. You already knew that information. It's actually not something new that I'm teaching you, but over the period of years, there are some limitations and some things, some limiting beliefs that generally people start to put on themselves. And once you hear me explain you the mechanics of how things work, and I go into a little bit of depth as to how the principle actually works, then you realize, oh my God, so what I've been holding back is just a limitation. And the goosebumps, for example, that you get, that's basically a classical example of that limiting belief actually going away. It's actually true, and this is a physical manifestation of what actually happens when you get these goosebumps, or when you get you get actually a feeling, a physical feeling, and it's only telling you that that false belief that you had is actually gone. And the aha moment is not because you got new data, it is because you realize that, oh my goodness, I already knew that.
Yeah, the same thing happens with your posts. When I see your posts every day, and I share them out because again, your profound wisdom, as I like to say.
Thank you.
Even when I get those, it's like, okay, you know what? I knew that, but wow, is it great to hear put into this delivery or this message?
Exactly. It's just getting rid. And sometimes these beliefs are so strongly inbuilt that the first time you hear it, you might just discount it, saying, no, that's not true. That doesn't apply to me and all that. But and that's why the first thing that I said is you are ready to confront these things. A lot of people are not. They keep their mind closed and they think that, oh, you know what, I know it all and I don't need to improve. I don't need to scale my business up. I am what I am. Right? But if you come with that viewpoint and you're not ready to scale up, you're really not ready to expand and help more and more people, then you're not going to get rid of those limiting beliefs. So you're not going to actually be introduced to the real you. So when you get these wins, when you get these aha moments, that's actually the real you. You're introducing yourself to you.
Wow. Again, more profound wisdom. You do that to me all the time, and that's usually my word is wow, because I can't believe it. Like you say, we're aware of this information, but when you get it delivered to you, it has entirely different meaning.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Awesome and really amazing. I'm so happy. I wish you all the best for your podcast and the leaders that you're bringing into this platform. I'm sure they will be honored to be on these platforms with you, and the way you're promoting not only just the leaders, and I like the acronym CASE, by the way. Well done with that. I love it. And yes, just the number of influences that you're going to have, because you're going to the leaders of today, right? And the leaders have a huge reach. So indirectly, you are helping them to reach hundreds and thousands of people. So you become the cause of reaching the leaders, reaching those many people. So you have a huge responsibility, and that's why I'm happy you're fulfilling that so well. So I wish you all the best, Curtis and RJ.
Thank you.
But before you go, I'm not sure if you're going to leave us or you're going to stick around, but just tell people, again, we've told people a little bit about you, but tell people how you serve. What do you teach and how do you serve people?
So my company, I'm the president of Your Profound Solutions, and I specialize in teaching people business, how to actually structure your business in order to make profits. Because I see a lot of people are really good at what they do. Their own profession, they are really, really master at their own craft. But the reality is that you can't really just make your craft as your business and start making profit out of it. To have a successful business, you need many, many components. So just having an amazing craft, you being amazing at your own craft, doesn't really start making you money. You need to understand how business actually works. There is a specific flow in the business that you need to develop. There are, these 7 elements that every business needs to have, and they need to balance themselves in order for you to create profit. So my role as a coach, as a mentor, when I do my trainings, I'm teaching how to get those 7 elements in your business going. And once people start to understand that, oh my God, I'm missing this component, I never thought about this component. Now they start to bring this component up, and they see that results start flowing in. So my role really as a coach and a mentor is to introduce to them how they can take their craft, which they are really amazing at, and convert that into a business. Because truly a business is offering solutions. And if you are offering solution to one person versus you're offering solutions to thousands of people, definitely you're going to make more profit. And more importantly, you're going to help 999 people more. And that's the whole power. That's the power that I give them by empowering them so that they can help others. And I do through a lot of training programs, a lot of ebooks that I've written. There is one ebook that is currently available on my website, which is actually a free ebook. That's an amazing ebook. It's called Truth About Money. So anyone that wants that ebook, they can go to my website and download that book for free. And it is a beautiful, beautiful concepts explained about money, because I give a lot of importance, for example, for definitions of words. And everybody, says, oh, Amit, I want to make more money. I want to increase the money that I make per month. And when I ask them this simple question, okay, so tell me what's money for you? How would you define money? They have no idea. There is this absurd silence for the next 20 seconds. And that's fine. Like, people generally don't think about, the definitions, but I give a lot of importance to that. So I've explained what actually money is and what's the actual truth about money that you can start looking at. Because once you start looking at these things that I'm explaining to you over even this call, then you will start to gain understanding. And that's how you're actually going to create that in your own life. So my website is yourprofoundsolutions.com. If they go to the site, they can get this ebook for free.
Perfect.
And we have the link for that. So we'll share it out there in the comments. I'll watch this again myself and add comments and links and things like that. So we'll put it out there as well as in the description, so people have access to that. I've read the book already. Again, valuable information that people need to have. It'll change their mindset around money.
Absolutely.
So Amit, thank you for being here tonight to celebrate this with us. And again, thank you for everything you have done for myself and for to help put Curtis and I both here. So
you are doing amazing. RJ and Curtis, I cannot express how proud I am of both of you. Very, very well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care.
So that was, again, Amit Ambegaonkar, who, again, we can't say enough about. You will learn more about him. He will be active in our community. You have access to him because you have access to us. That's what he was talking about, right? We are leaders influencing leaders. So we are putting these people in front of you so that you can get access to them. You can learn from them, and you can they can serve you in the way that you need. Look, if you don't know enough about money, there's a good place to start. That Truth About Money ebook. So
have you read that book, RJ, yet?
Yeah, I've read it already. So
oh, cool. What'd you think of it?
Oh, again, you know what? I read all of Amit's content, and like I said, every time you think you learn, you've learned a lot. You know what I mean? We have so much knowledge inside of us, and he delivers some information in a way that just you go, oh my God, like really? Like, why didn't I understand this before? So yeah, get the truth about money. It'll change your mindset. So, and then, like I said, we are a beacon of leadership, and I want people to know where they can find us. First of all, you're joining us here on YouTube Live. So that's where we're going to record our podcast every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to do a podcast here. Hopefully we'll always be live, but scheduling issues can occur, and maybe we'll have to do a recorded interview. We are going to do recorded interviews. Not everybody can join us at 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock on Fridays, but there's so many valuable leaders out there who have something vital to contribute. We want you to get to know them. We want you to meet them. We want you to learn from them. So we're going to make sure that we can host them as well. As I said, the podcast we're recording now, it will be up and loaded tomorrow morning to find out on your favorite platforms. It's already on, I know it's active on Spotify. We're not active on Google yet. We're active on Alexa. And another one, my favorite app is called Podcast Addict. We're live on that one as well. So we're live on like 4 or 5 platforms right now. We're waiting on iTunes to approve us. We're waiting on Google to approve us. So these things do take time, but we will be on all your major platforms to learn, to download our episodes. So, and they'll be ready by Saturday morning.
Yeah. Don't forget on YouTube to like and subscribe to our channel.
Thank you. Absolutely. Listen, you want to show up, you want to learn more about the content, and maybe you can't join us live. So you'll at least get the recording. You'll be notified when we have content up for people to review.
Perfect.
So
right.
I'll move on to another person. Hopefully he's here with us today. Again, this was just somebody we met at seminars, right? Just, another guest, but then you find out they have so much value to add. And this person, he just started teaching us a stretching exercise to help relieve the tension in your neck and to help remove that stress or that negative pressure that you're feeling all the time. And that stunned me because he showed me this technique. Well, I watched him show it to several people first, and then he showed it to me, and he literally loosened up my neck within, 10 seconds. So, I'm going to introduce next, and I'm hoping he's here and come on with us, Professor Dr. George Grant. He's the host of Academy of Wellness, and he's a chiropractor by profession. That's the reason he knows about the bones and the muscles and help keep people move a little easier. So, Dr. Grant, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Good to see you, RJ, and good to see you, Curtis.
You too, Doctor.
Like I said, we met you at seminars, just another face in the crowd, but you proved right away that you were more than just another face, and you definitely demonstrated leadership abilities right from the outset. People were attracted to you by what you were teaching other people.
Thank you, RJ. Thank you so much. Yes. And everything you need to know about me is at the academyofwellness.com. And we care, we serve, we educate. We do not medicate, operate, irradiate, amputate, vaccinate, or do any of this stuff. All natural stuff, as you just said. Yes, and we do natural remedies. We help people with blood pressure, diabetes, fibromyalgia, MS, people who have pain, neck pain, as RJ was talking about, back pain, knee pain, arthritis, all of the stuff can be reversed naturally. No need for painkillers, no need for injection of cortisone. And after teaching in the faculty of pharmacy and medicine for many, many years, and I've learned that natural medicine, integrative medicine, functional medicine, and prevention is always better than intervention. And I believe from my heart, as seeing my family history, my mom died in her 40s, my dad dies in his 50s, and I never see my grandparents. And here I am, 72, kicking is still alive, and I'm planning to live
awesome.
One and beyond, as my ebook here, How to Live Healthy and Beyond. So we teach people how to live healthy, even though they had bad genes from parents and grandparents. It's all to do with lifestyle. Yes. So I want to offer for you, Curtis and RJ, something called Wellness IQ at the academyofwellness.com. It's 10 questions. You answer them, and each question is worth 10 points. So basically come up with a score of 100. So I have 25,000 clients worldwide, and the average score on those 25,000 is only 55%. Oh, wow. So I help them to know what to eat, what not to eat, and what's eating them for stress, and what's causing their pain. Something simple like what RJ was talking about, their posture, their sleeping habits, So if the posture is not
That's
right
true.
and the breathing habit is not right, they're going to end up with neck pain. And the only range of motion they have is this. So as soon as I teach them how to stretch, like I showed RJ in some of those seminars, and they start to actually have great range of motion, and the neck is improved, the back is improved, and everything is improved. So there's no need to live with pain just by improving your posture. Simple stuff, simple tips. People learn and they apply it, and then they live happily ever after too. 101 or 111 if they like to, because that's my other book, and I've written 25 books. And you mentioned Raymond Aaron. I actually know Raymond for almost like over 30 years. I'm his doctor, actually. I'm his natural doctor for Raymond Aaron. I know him for many, many years, and he come to see me for his biofeedback test. And maybe RJ does not know this. I used to have the clinic at Finch and Dufferin. I invited RJ to come and see me many times, but he's so busy and I'm so busy anyway. We could not make it. He could not make it in person. Now we have a scan that is virtual based on voice. This is based on voice. Anywhere in the world, we do that scan. So, and it's accurate to a blood test, 95%.
Oh, wow.
Accurate to basically to MRI, PET scan, CAT scan, based on all of this voice, and it'll give you a complete understanding of your body head to toe. This device here is virtual biofeedback device that you can share it with your group. And if somebody did the Wellness IQ, we'll offer them 50% off. So that way we can do it virtually. And then if they're not happy, they don't have to pay. It takes 1 hour. And then we provide for them voice report, a vitals report, head to toe, like a CBC blood test, and a comprehensive report. The voice report is only 7 PDF file, but they know about their emotions, about the color that they like, and about what is bothering them emotionally, because anything happening in your mind can affect your body, and like vice versa. And then we do the vitals analysis, which is about 75 pages long, and then the comprehensive report, which is 88, 90 pages long.
Wow.
All of this done in 1 hour through the voice, 15-second voice. And once you see this, you're going to be referring it to all of your leaders, coaches, doctors, nurses, chiropractors, physiotherapists, massage therapists. I'll tell you, Curtis and RJ, once you see this device here in action, I'll be happy to do that, and we'll happy to do it for both of you. Just let me know.
Okay.
1 hour on my academyofwellness.com calendar. I'll happy to do this for you, both of you. So, and you can see it, experience it, and then refer to other people too.
It sounds great. Thanks, Dr. Grant. Sounds cool.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And thank you for where can we get that ebook, by the way, the 101 Ways to 101 Years? I'd love to.
It's available at the academyofwellness.com, RJ. I'm happy to send you a copy of it. It's a great book to show you exactly step by step how to live through 101 or 111, even though you had bad genes like me. Because it's not about genetics, it's about epigenetics, how you express your bad genes, you turn them off, and turn your good genes on. So when you're 72, which I know you're much, much younger than that, and so is Curtis, and when you're 72 like me now, you don't look 72. Most of my clients think that I'm 60. And my energy is quite high.
That's good. That's good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're a good representation of aging gracefully. So
Yes, thank you.
for that.
You're awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Grant, so again, you are founder of Academy of Wellness. People can
Yes.
reach out to you there. They can get that scanner as well there, by the way.
Yes.
They can so no longer do we need to go and visit you for an appointment or try and schedule that. We can start to get this treatment going on from wherever we are. And by the way, yeah, I know you were joking about it, but I love that you said you get this done without amputation, because I'm a diabetic type 2, and I want to know that I'm going to keep my leg for a while. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep my leg forever. So
RJ, I guarantee personally that your fasting blood sugar will be under 5.5, and the HbA1c, the A1c, the 3 months average of blood test, would be under 6.5. This is personal guarantee. Once you do the testing and assessment, I'll tell you what affecting your blood sugar. And some people don't even understand one fact, that fruits can contribute to your high blood sugar. Like people sometimes they eat too many fruits and less vegetables. So I recommend 10 vegetables, 10 vegetables to only 2 fruits. Because eating 2 fruits, of course, sugar,
Natural
which is highly
sugar.
addictive, can give you a spike in not only in fasting blood sugar, but also in A1C. That is 3 months average. But I have helped many thousands of people to reverse, and there is no need for metformin, which is actually warned by the FDA that it can cause cancer.
Yep.
And there's no need for glyburide. There is no need for insulin. By the way, I'm sure RJ knows this because he knows my bio. I did work for Health Canada for 10 years and FDA and the CDC. I've been a senior advisor for them, and I've been a professor in the allopathic field and also naturopathic field, which I'm currently professor in the World Organization of Natural Medicine. I teach my students all over the world how to get their master's and doctorate degree virtually.
Nice.
They can earn that bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degree virtually doing online courses. And of course, they have to do a thesis. So I have this all available at the academyofwellness.com. Yes, we help diabetics, and then we prevent amputation. We prevent having injection of any kind of insulin, short-acting, long-acting insulin, metformin, any of the stuff. They lead a natural, healthy lifestyle. Yes, guaranteed.
Awesome.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Thank you for coming to join us today. I've been looking for the opportunity to get a full interview with you. So I know now that is coming. You're in my community. We are going to get that interview so we can share that with people. So
thank you so much,
forward to that.
Thank you for the invitation, my friend. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You know what? One of our guests left, and I hope we can get him back because it was somebody I'm very involved with. So I'm hoping we can still conduct a conversation with, because I'm involved with Voice of Men 360. I will talk about that if he doesn't join us, but we had the founder of Voice of Men 360 with us, and he had to go. He had to deal with something. So unfortunate, because I would have loved to hear from him. But we did bring people out to join us. So I'm excited to introduce everybody who's come along with us. This next gentleman has, through connections, right? You meet one person, you connect with another person. That's what this industry is all about. And so I met Ted Iribe several years ago, and through his community, and he's been, keeping me active and motivated, inspired. He didn't join us today, but he helped me grow in a lot of ways, and he introduced me to a lot of people through his community and his mastermind work. One of those people was Mark Maynard, who, again, he's not here with us today, but when I met Mark Maynard, I learned a lot from him. And then eventually he hooked up with somebody who helped. They started working together. They created this community called Internal Awakening, which I'm very much involved with, very much in tune with. They've helped me learn a lot. These two gentlemen have actually coached me, several times already, with no more concern than the fact that they needed to help me. They needed to guide me through the processes that I was going through at the time. That's the type of people they are. So, and the person I'm going to introduce next, LaTroy Woods. He is very much a heart-centered individual. He speaks from the heart. He listens to his heart. He helps other people get in tune with not only what is the heart saying, but what does that mean? Why is it talking to you? And maybe how to listen to it a little more, knowing that it's talking to you. So LaTroy Woods, again, co-founder of Internal Awakening. How are you today, LaTroy?
Good evening.
Thank you for having me. My absence a little bit. I just got done with the meetings. It's very interesting. Begin to find out the possibilities that are around us every day. So setting up an event for mental health in our state with some influencers, right, to create something that's not so much informative, right, but where the real conversation is always taking place and only taking place, and that is within the nature of the mind. And that's where all wisdom and understanding and transformation takes place. So thank you for having me today. Everything's an opportunity. The work that you're putting in your own community. So thank you for having me.
Again, you know what? I wanted people to learn. First of all, it's not just Curtis and I. We're not just talking because we like to talk. We're talking because we've learned a lot, and we wanted to help people. We wanted people to meet some of the people who have been helping us to get to where we are today. Some of the people who've been teaching us and who we are associated with, and therefore, by associating with us, they learn from other people like yourselves. So, pleased to present you, and pleased to for people to get to know you.
I'm gonna start off with the story, if that's okay, RJ.
Please talk. Sure.
The redwood forest. Some of the oldest trees on the planet are in the redwood forest. And how these trees are still standing is kind of awe-inspiring, right? A lot of these trees are on the sides of hills, right? They've gone through earthquakes and windstorms and brutal rainstorms. For these trees to still be standing and to understand actually what is happening within the community of all these trees, right? You could look on the surface and see what's going on, right? But if you were to sit there long enough, you look below the surface, look what's going on inside, look what's going on inside the soil. You will see that all their roots, which don't run very deep, but they run connecting to other trees. The big trees connect with the other big tree roots. They connect with the saplings of the smaller trees, right? And it's through the support of them connecting with one another and holding on to one another that they've made it hundreds and thousands of years, right? Is through this connectivity that we cannot do this alone. That we're actually not separate like we think we are. We have our own individuality, right? To bring something to life, to bring service. But at the end of all of this, we're in it all together. We come from the same thing, right? And so this is what's really changed my life, this conversation, right? The place where we live and dwell, to understand the nature of the mind and to invite people to understand this. What's really going on, what's really happening is never happening out there, but it's always happening in here, right? Nothing's happening but what we're choosing. And this is where the real conversation is. And this is the truth, right? Is the only constant, and to stay there. And so platforms like this, platforms I'm creating, me going out, realize I don't need validation or permission from anybody, but to create value and service at the highest level of where you're at with what you have and what you can do right now, right? To live your full life one day at a time. So that is one of my very personal goals, RJ, is to bring value to myself first, right? I'm number one, it's just me and God. And then to extend that to anybody that comes into my presence or my space, right? To let my light shine every single day.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Again, I like what you're talking about with the roots and how they're interconnected and how they survive well together. That's exactly what we're talking about, building this community, right? Is that, Curtis and I, we can only do so much. We can only grow so much. But by uniting with other people who are walking that path and growing just the same as we are, we grow that much stronger. We grow that much better. And we're able to serve other people around us by working together. So I love that story. Thank you very much. And then the other thing I noticed
absolutely
is you connect the heart or the mind, which there's where all the information is. There's where what we're connected to. But by connecting that to the heart and the choices we make and being able to listen more deeply to our desire and what we want, being able to express that by being able to stay within that heart, like you were talking about. So, thank you for that.
Very good. Thanks, Troy.
And you've created this community with Mark Maynard, Internal Awakening. Tell us a little bit more about that and how you serve people.
Actually, when you think about it, right? Do any of you guys have children?
Yep.
Any of you spouses, right? Do you actually have any control over them?
No.
So, question's not so much the how, but what's the influence, right? We have influence over people. We have guidance over people. But if we don't have control over anything, then that means we're only experiencing ourselves, right? And when the veil, I believe, I use it as God, right? Not as religion, but as spiritual. When the veil removes from your eyes, right? To have understanding, to understand a thing, more importantly than anything, not to say this is wrong or this is right, but from a place of neutrality to have understanding of what's going on inside of this body I live in, right? What's the best way I could get my body to do what I tell it, right? Because I'm the one that's given the command, not my program. It suggests something, and then I get to choose to engage or not engage with it. So internal awakening has been really about inviting people into a space where they can feel safe to hear their own voice, to move into their own capability and potential, right? We will all have this conversation, this self-mastery conversation, this looking for our purpose. We all are going to have it. Many people may have it on their deathbeds, right? But why not have it now? Why not give people the opportunity to face themselves and to feel safe doing it through a conversation, right? The conversation meaning the place where you live and dwell. Human beings were a lot of things. One thing that we haven't learned from history is learning how to be a human being, to learn from that, right? So to create spaces where people can invite them into that and just to look at things different, right? What works for me might not work, but that perspective may just shift you from where you are and a little closer maybe to where you do want to be. So we both have had some experiences, right? If I'm being honest, one of those was suicide. It turned myself inside out, turned my life upside down, where I was able to finally take ownership for my life and say my life was the way it was because I chose it. And a lot of people are afraid to have that conversation with themselves because that's the only conversation that's ever happening. So this community is to invite people into that and have a conversation and to learn more about what's going on inside of you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for creating the community. Thank you for being there for me and for, helping to help us grow, for being a participant within our community. Because again, like I say, by having access to us, people have access to all of you. So thank you for being a part of our community and to continue to serve in all the ways you do.
Well, thank you. I received that. Maybe I can ask you a question if that's okay, RJ.
I'm always open to your questions. So because they're so eye-opening half the time or most of the time. So let's hear what you have to ask today.
Just out of curiosity, I think these are important things to remember, right? Why do you do, so maybe that's a two-sided question. Why do you do what you do? And do you play full on with going after it?
Oh, see, there's what I'm talking about. There's those deep questions. You're right. There are two parts to that. So first, I've been there. You know what I mean? I've struggled. I've lived a hard life, blaming the world for my problems and not knowing how to behave any differently. I wanted a better way out. I knew there was a better way out. I just didn't see it. I didn't know how to get there. But I see a lot of people still in that space. And I want to be able to help people walk out of that space, help people find their way out of the darkness, as I say. You know what? Look, you talked about, you were suicidal at one point. I've never considered suicide, but I did consider, why am I living this life? What am I doing? And why am I here? You know what I mean? It's useless. I'm hating the way I'm living. So I've never considered suicide, but I was very depressed over it. So I changed my life. I grew. But then it became time to serve and help other people and to give back and help walk people out of that darkness. So that's why I do what I do at this point. And then, am I living full on? It's even come to my attention recently that I'm not doing enough to serve. Even the fact that not enough people knew about this event and, we were putting it together. That's just one way that I'm not serving enough. I'm not living full on. I'd like to believe that I'm in integrity and I do what I do all of the time. But let's face it, sometimes when we're with family or we're with a social circle, maybe we withhold some information or some of our initiatives, some of the work we do. We don't talk about it enough. So am I living full on? I'd still say no at this point. I have every intention of doing so, and I still have some room to grow and to open up into that area. But I've committed myself to doing so. That was part of one of the things where I've said, look, it's come to my awareness. I'm not doing enough to serve. I'm honest there. I'm not at the par I would like to be at, I'm not serving 100%. So thank you for those questions.
Well, thank you for being vulnerable, right? Because there's really no right or wrong answer, but just to have a great conversation, to be able to see what's inside of us so that we can choose something else, right? So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you for being here. Thank you for asking that. That's exactly what I'm talking about with internal awakening. First of all, I wish Mark was here because you guys really are a yin and yang. You're two sides of the coin. You come from intuition and the heart. Mark comes from the mental or the science aspect of it, the information, and you guys combine that to create just a powerful force. Is all I could say. You help people in a way that they don't even know how they're being helped just by having those conversations, asking those deep questions, and hopefully they're open enough to delve into themselves and answer that with all the authenticity and vulnerability that a question like that requires.
Absolutely. Thank you guys again for putting this together, inviting me. And I can tell you what my intention for being here is always first gratitude. So that's why I always extend gratitude to get my heart in the right place for myself, right? Myself, because that's all I can experience. So I can bring something to the table for my relationships, for my finances, for my businesses, right? To the service. The love is for me first, to grow through and move through and become. And second, to set the intention. I spent most of my adult life is what it is, right? Because human being in our voice, but to be intentional with everything that I am doing one day at a time, get used to winning, right? There's this power that's coursing through our DNA, this potential that we don't even realize, right? And once we become, I believe, to face ourselves, right, we can move past our stories and our lies. This is where the magic happens, right? You come back home, you are no longer disconnecting with yourself, and you connect back here again, where you have all the power to do something about it. But the minute that we're blaming, we're pointing fingers, we're saying you did this, right? The economy, the government, my children, my family, we are powerless to do anything about it because we're putting on somebody that can actually not even help us because they can't go and edit here. So these are the conversations I always look forward to. RJ, to stir the pot, because this is where the real conversation happens.
Absolutely. And I'm sure we're going to have some more deep conversations with you throughout this community, whether in panel discussions or whether in deep dive interview. You have a lot more information to give and a lot more sincere questions to ask. So I look forward to sharing that with the people out there. So thank you. Thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely.
No, please continue.
Oh, no, go ahead, RJ. I was just saying thank you.
Oh, absolutely. And I know you're a busy man. I know you had meetings going on today and you still managed to spend some time with us here today. So gratitude for your presence and thank you for joining us. So again, you've met some of the people in our community. This is, again, an exciting initiative that Curtis and I are proud to present. Now, Curtis had to leave us. I'm not sure if he's able to join us the rest of the evening. Life is like that. He had, people come over and socialize, and his wife was like, well, we have company. You can't exactly, spend all your time doing that. So I get it. I understand it. I actually had to get him to stand in for one interview for much the same reason. So Curtis is here in spirit with us. He helped us put this together. I would be nothing without him. This community would be nothing without him. So I'm grateful for Curtis and all the work he does. So I don't know if he'll be joining us the rest of the evening, but I'll carry on. I'll carry the torch without him. So there are a couple of people I still want to introduce you to, but I want to remind people that we are a community. We're creating a membership here in this community. I call this an Institute of Fellowship. This community really is going to become something amazing. We're just at the beginning of it. It's just launching its platform, its purpose, its vision and mission. We're just starting the great work that we're going to do. You may have been part of some of the Better Life events. In fact, most of our guests here today have participated in a Better Life event at some point. So that's what community is all about. And that's what we're putting together here. So I want people out there to become a VIP. So much so that I am giving our VIP membership free for the next 7 days until the end of Friday, July or June 10th. We are giving away free VIP memberships. You can become a VIP member in this community. And what that means is you're going to have VIP tickets to all of our events. And that means you're going to get gifts or swag from our speakers, our presenters. You're going to have recordings of the event, VIP status at all of our events. You're going to not only have access to these gifts, but as a VIP, you're going to be able to contribute to these gifts. So you're going to be able to share your leadership and your service with other members of our community, because as a VIP, you get to contribute to our VIP swag bag. One of the things that come along with that is coaching with Curtis and I. You get at least one session of coaching with Curtis and with myself, individual sessions. So one, you can talk about positivity, you can talk about your attitude, your behavior with Curtis. And with me, you can talk about your betterment journey, your growth journey. What is that going to look for you, to you, and how do we get you there? So that's what VIP is all about. And we want you to become a VIP. So visit www.beaconofleadership.com/members. Click on the link there until June 10th. The price goes up June 10th. Through that link on our website, it will change to $97 after June 10th. So the value of that program is actually at $147 this year only, but we're giving it to you through our website for $97. But I want you to be a VIP. Go to www.beaconofleadership.com/members. Click on the link, get free VIP for the next 7 days. So join us as a Beacon of Leadership VIP lifetime founding member. So thank you for that. Next, I want to introduce somebody who has been very much responsible for my growth. He's helped me grow as an individual. He's helped me grow as a man. In fact, that's his mission. He put together a community that really is to help support men, to help them grow and live a better life, to help them overcome their struggles, and help create awareness for the issues that men face. So I'd like to invite on Sivam Velautham. He's the founder of Voice of Men 360. Sivam, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Sivam, thank you so much for coming out to join us today. Again, you've been part of my growth journey. In fact, I wouldn't probably be a podcaster, or at least as well as I do, without your help and without your influence and support. So thank you for being a part of my life and this community as well. So introduce yourself a little bit to people.
Absolutely. Give me 1 second. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Yeah. You got that shining light on your face. That looks.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to fix.
That's that beacon that we're talking about.
No.
Shining the light on leadership.
Exactly. That's what I'm, the shining. Give me 1 second, bro. All right. It won't go.
Even if you just left up your logo, so people, well, I mean, nobody's going to see, but.
Should be, this is fine.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Sivam, and what you've created.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, RJ, for having me, the opportunity. And yeah, I just was listening to you and going back to how we connected in the last couple of months or more than a year, I believe. Yeah, and that's made a big difference. And also, there's something that we always share. We really want to share, and then we want to empower as much as possible, and however we can help each other, right? Basically. I just noticed that am I on the speaker mode or on the
You're on the speaker mode. So when you speak, you're featured.
okay, because I don't see that, so that's why I'm asking. All right, so the men's group or the organization that we are running is that called Voice of Men 360, and that's how we are connected. How we want to address or how we want to help men out there. Not only men, but also boys too. There are so many things going on. Especially, I just want to take a moment to recognize June is the Men's Mental Health Month, and we want to help. We want to reach out as much as possible the community out there and help them, support them, however, whichever we want, we can. So we started our organization last year, August 2020, and it is growing actually. And we have done so far nearly 330 shows, including weekly, monthly live shows, pretty much podcasts, everything. And and also Open Up is one of the most popular shows at our platform. This is a place where people can, or any gender can come and share their life experience, their life journey, and also how we can help the men who are going through some life challenges. So whenever I hear the stories, different kind of stories, our walk of life, any men out there, whoever is coming to a show or even any articles or anything, the demand is so high. The issues or problems or anything they are struggling, it's a very real. You cannot ignore, you cannot escape. So some of the life experiences that I have come across, that I really want to help in some ways other people, right? Same thing with you. You started a platform, and I really am proud of you guys, because when somebody is pushing, even though we know something is out there or something that we can do, but somebody still has to push just a little bit, just to push, right? That's all they had to do, nothing else. So that push, somebody inspired me to start this organization. Dr. Jerome Tilson, he's the founder of International Men's Day, and that speech, maybe one line or a couple of lines, that night, that moment is started, and here we are. And you and me, actually, you have done what, over 100 shows, I believe, right? So this is the way we are growing. This is the way we are helping each other, and also helping those who are in the position. We are not, they are not alone. So just sharing that moment, sharing that experience. Okay, you know what, you are going through the same situations. It's not new. It's not something that we cannot avoid, but at least we can support in some ways. The moral support, it's very, very important.
So thank you. Thank you, Sivam. You mentioned Open Up. Again, first of all, I started with you for International Men's Day for an event we did. That's where really we got involved. I got to host the first one with you in 2020. Mm-hmm. Again, the second one, I was with you in 2021. Yeah. But you invited me to be the host of Open Up. But I think I started with you around episode 20. Of course, I'll be completely honest. I did have to back away for a period of time. I was working on this, and I had other things going on in my life. I was experiencing some struggle, and my devotion to Voice of Men was not 100%. So I did have to back away, but you were with me the entire time. You were supporting me, welcomed me back in with open arms when it was time for me to come back and assume the helm as the host of Open Up again. So I am back as the host of Open Up. Very much proud of that, as well as, we've reached together 100. I think we're going to do our 108th episode. So that's very exciting. You're right. It is a very popular show.
Exactly. Not only that, but also you had to look at from this different point of view too, right? Every one of us, we need sometimes, kind of like our own space or some kind of breathing time, So you take the time, you take the moment, and then it's not like we are leaving behind you, or we are not really aligning with our values or anything. It's just a matter of time. So you just take your own time and then going back and then coming back. Because when we look at problems or men's especially, we are going through so much troubles or so much emotional traumas, right? But we do have to have our own time to have a relaxation or some kind of, relax. And that moment, that time period, every one of us, we need it, right? So when we come back, you will do more, you will be improved more. So you can give more. So that's what it is basically. So you are not going anywhere. I won't let you go because I know the first time we connected, it doesn't matter this platform or any other platform, you really want to help men out there. Same thing with me. So the social aspect is still there. So the connection, anywhere you go and then anywhere I go, it's still we can connect and then we can come back and then we can work around that. So there's no lose or there's no always gaining in a different point of view. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So thank you. Again, Open Up, a very popular show. One of the other initiatives we have that we're very proud of is our men's support group. Talk about that. Why did we create it? What's the purpose there?
Exactly. Thank you for bringing that up. See, you and me has so many issues though, right? But still we try to manage. There are people come across in our life and then they are actually showing path that we can take steps and then get achieved or probably in our mission. In the beginning of the show, I was listening to Amit and other people too, right? So there are people coming in our life for a reason, right? So you want to be the reason in somebody's life. And also the men's support group, it doesn't matter like this moment or any other moment. There are some moments that you need some support, moral support, especially men. At least they don't really go to women and then talk about their personal stuff. But when we have a space, their own space, they can at least share whatever they can, right? So that's a place, that's a space we want to create. We want to gradually help them bring out them from struggles or pain or traumas or emotional crisis they are going through. You never know, because I could share one, just one tiny or one line that whenever we give opportunity to other people, we never know, right? What kind of opportunity we are giving, because we are empowering. Say when I ask somebody, they said, you know what? When I ask somebody to host that, facilitate that one of the meetings, you know, that person, that individual was from different trauma, but he was absolutely amazed and also appreciated. So you never know how you are empowering, how you are helping those people, right? So the emotional trauma, you had to be there. That's what I put in my last message. So somebody's out there waiting for your call, and do you really want to help them? Or you want to just hide, you know what, I do have so many problems, I cannot take care of myself, how come I can support other people? No, if I listen to other people's problems, call 5 people or 3 people and compare your problem and their problems, it's it's worse than that. So you have a better life, so you can help it still. And when you compare those situations or problems, it's nothing, man, really. So that's why we want to create, and then we want to help those men out there. The moral support is very important. That's what we see, especially in the last probably 2 years in the pandemic. So much going on. After isolated themselves, it's really so much going on. So at least when we gradually, or when we continuously share more stories and support and giving some kind of help, at least we can save some lives. That's all that matters.
Yes. And you know what, you mentioned that, first of all, can you take the time, or can you bother helping somebody else because you're going through this and you're experiencing that? Should I bother helping other people? You know, one of the things was, I was told, you know what, don't wait until there's a better time. Give back now. Start, you know, donating, or start being of service. And that was the thing. I couldn't donate. I couldn't offer, you know, charity, any money or anything like that, but I could offer my time. I could be of service to people, and you gave me that opportunity. So I thank you very much, because it changed who I was and how I operated. But there's also the matter of, look, when you're experiencing struggle, you're not thinking well, you're going through hard times. One of the best ways to get out of that is by serving other people, by helping them with their problems. So you know what, volunteering and helping other people through their trauma or their struggle really is a benefit, not only to you because you forget about your own problems, but you're helping somebody else, and that gives you such a feeling of gratitude and jubilance or elation that you're able to serve somebody in this way.
Exactly, absolutely. That's well said. And like I said, any email or just a one phone call or just one text message can save life, or even change their whole entire day, or change their mindset totally. You never know, right? Because if you don't just to imagine quickly, if you don't connect, I always believe everything happening for a reason. Let's say if you don't connect, and if you don't see the value in both of us, right? So what will happen is that we miss something, right? And it's always good to connect with the people, like-minded people. See, you and me, you really want to serve the community, and you want to serve the men out there who are going through some struggle and challenges. Same thing with me, and same thing with Jerome too. So at least one word or one just action, if we can impact, make a positive change in their lives, absolutely, that's all we need. You know what I mean?
Yep. One small influence, and you never know what that influence might be. So we have, like you said, Open Up. We record Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. live, just like we're doing here on this podcast, at a specific date and time. We've also got the men's support groups, which is every second Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes.
So they can find more about that at voiceofmen360.org. as well as our Facebook group, right? Voice of Men 360.
We do have a Facebook group, Voice of Men 360, and also we do have a Facebook page, and you can get to know that. And also voiceofmen360.org, that's our website, and also YouTube channel, Voice of Men 360. You can go and watch. We have done probably 330 shows so far, and we try to cover as much as possible. So we do have weekly and monthly live shows. The dark side, the unspoken tears, sexual abuse or domestic violence, bullying, and human trafficking, you name it. And also we do have a monthly webinar and some other special shows. And also we host International Men's Day show. It's a 1 week show. So there are a couple of shows that you can involve either in the show or at the organization directly or indirectly. Every one of us has a story to share. You never know that line or that moment of your story or that the whole life journey will change or will impact in somebody's life out there. Who knows?
And so I want to mention Voice of Men 360 is a not-for-profit organization. We're working to get charitable status so that we can really serve in the way that we feel we can have more to offer. So again, we survive on donations, charity, your time, your service. That's how a not-for-profit works. So please become involved in Voice of Men 360. You can hear already we're doing some valuable work and being of service to men. So thank you. Thank you for
the opportunity, and I am proud of you. And also, however we can help each other, man, it's always great to be connected, the platform and also the people too, the community. Thank you, Linda, for your comments. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Wonderful. Thank you. And gratitude for you. Again, you've helped me become a better man. No doubt about that. Not just by being supportive and being available to me, but also by, like you say, giving me that little push in the direction I needed. And it's changed the outcome and the aspect of my life. So thank you very much. I'm very grateful.
Exactly. So Amit is the amazing coach, and coach, mentor, or guidance is just a push, just a showing the direction. That's all they are. We are the messenger. So somebody else passed to us, somebody else helped us, and that's the way I see it. And then you help other people, and then they will help other people. It's a chain reaction. That's all we do, right? Thanks.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again for all you do. Thank you for the community, Voice of Men 360. You are doing tremendously valuable work.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
Thank you. So, and then another lady I met through Voice of Men 360. She was just a guest on our show one day, and we clicked. We saw the synergy and the the message, the similar messages we were willing to share. In fact, she calls herself a beacon. So that actually excites me a lot. Linda Tilson, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. And I just am melting here listening to the conversations that are happening. And I don't know if anyone realizes, but the Voice of Men 360 embodies a lot of the beliefs just in this conversation here. I heard several great things that were so empowering. The fact that you wanted to give to people, and you look at your own life and where am I at? What can I do? And you just go in and do it now. You needed to step away for a bit, take a pause from your hosting, and you had the opportunity to come back, and you were welcomed with open arms. I mean, that right there it's just heartwarming to hear about that. All of these vulnerable things being voiced to do it. And I have to be honest, when I got the invitation to join Voice of Men 360, I thought, well, why is a woman, being invited to come to a men's program? And, all things happen for a reason. To be honest, I do show up in the space and help and empower a lot of men. And so it's not that much different than there being a men's coach that empowers women. You just don't hear too many women saying, I'm a men's empowerment coach, or I like to serve in this area, but I actually do. It's maybe it's because I didn't have any brothers growing up. I come from all sisters. And so I get to be in a different space doing different things. And you're right, Beacon is my one-word brand. I worked with a men's coach that we came up with that. And that was like one of the neatest things to do, because I've really embodied that role, and making sure that people have their voice And if they don't have it, showing them how that can be. And, you know, the work that I'm leading right now, it started off with resiliency. I was in a toxic work environment. Then later in my life, I did some more work and I realized how important it is for people to be able to master the emotions, to be able to do boundary setting. And so I had an opportunity, an invitation to come into your program, Better Life Events, and be able to teach to that. And so it was like this journey where I could take the things that I enjoy doing, that giving, that serving back to people that need it. And it's been a great trajectory. And I'm just so proud to be a part of this right now. And I'm a member of a lot of different communities. And so I usually don't just pick just one, but what I do is I pick ones that are heart-centered. They're about serving, being that beacon, and really helping people to open up, master their emotions, all of those things.
Absolutely. And thank you so much. I'm so glad to have met you through Open Up Our show. And you definitely were able to serve that audience. Yeah. You know what? It's surprising when we hear that, oh, men or women are, you know, given interviews on how men cope and how men survive and how can we help men. But look, you know, behind every great man is an even greater woman, right? I'd be nowhere without my wife. The guidance she gives me, she levels me out, she keeps me motivated, she keeps me moving, she keeps me doing a lot of things that I wouldn't normally do. You saw my posts about my backyard, how I created my porta backyard, something I'm very proud of. But it was 4 weeks of back-breaking labor that took a lot of effort. First of all, it was her creative concept. She wanted it done. And therefore, I have to put in the work and I have to serve her, right? But she comes up with ideas and thoughts that I normally wouldn't do. And then, of course, because I want to serve her, I end up becoming a better man because I'm trying to serve my wife in the way she expects me to, right? So that's one of the things that I totally believe in, the value of women as part of the whole being. Look, there are men out there who are living without a partner, without a wife, without a significant other. And to each their own, but I can't imagine it. We need the masculine and the feminine working together in order to create the whole being. So I would be nothing without my partner. And I'm sure that goes, you know, without saying for many of the people out there. But so tell us a little bit more beyond that about how you serve. What do you actually do to help people grow, you know, discover these boundaries and put all these things in place that help them understand themselves a little better?
Yes, actually, I do it in a couple of different ways. One of the things that I'm working on right now is I have worked with a coach, and we have put together what we call the Empowered Mindset, and it's a Master Your Emotions group coaching program. And we did that through meeting out in another space, another community. And what we've done is we have pulled together a team of us. So we are representing 4 countries, 5 time zones, men and women. Our youngest coach is 20, our oldest is 48. So we've got this diverse thing going. And what we enjoy most about our work is we put together this program because we realize in our lives, we had the value given to us of having to been exposed to coaching and understand what it is. But what I think that's out there is that unless you've had that experience, you may not know the value of what coaching can bring. You may not know what the one-on-one work can do for you. And so we really just felt really empowered and excited to be able to offer this 12-week-long course free of cost so that people could have that opportunity to experience that. And I have to say, not only do we embody what we teach and what we're about, but we brought together some people today powerfully. And it feels so good to be able to really impart some simple things that people can instill in their lives to make their life so much richer. And so I'm inspired to do that work every day. And, I'm inspired to be a part of this program because we get to do that too. It takes a lot of energy and effort, but we do it because we believe that this work is needed out in the world.
Absolutely. And thank you. Since we've met, you've become not only a good friend of mine, a supporter, you've been there, but you've also become very active in our community. So thank you for, again, coming into my life and then continuing to be active and supportive in that role.
And I appreciate the invitation so much. You have no idea what you've done to open things up, to be able to serve more people, because the more communities that we're a part of and we are interdependent, the more people we can serve.
Absolutely. And that's what we've created here. And you know what, I'm glad that you're a part of, because again, by having access to me, people have access to you, right? So that's great. I would love for you to reiterate a little bit, because again, when I was in my struggle, I didn't know how to be a different way. I didn't know what was available to me. So please just go over a little bit. Why is coaching so vital, and how can people get access to that? A coach, a mentor, how can they get somebody else to help them?
Yes. So one of the things that I share with people about why a coach or a mentor, they're both different roles, but the reason why they're both important is because there's somebody that's not your friend, your family member, your boss, that can look at you objectively. They can use challenging and compassionate energy to work with you in a way that some of the things that might come to the surface, your friend or your spouse may not give you that hard reality, that way that you could step up and be more powerful in your life. And so what a coach can do is they can bring that to you. And so it takes the willingness of the person that's participating to want to hear those hard truths, to want to step forward and live a better life. And the thing about the coaching is that person there, they genuinely want what's best for you. And so they don't have a hidden agenda. They want to take you through an experience and have you come out. And so there's going to be times when you work with a coach where it may take you to places that are hard and difficult. But when you can open up and accept that in and be willing to get vulnerable and have those tough conversations, you will be so glad that you went through that work. But the only way you're going to know that that's for you is to find programs, to find coaches and interview them and see, how do they deliver that coaching? Are they a fit for your personality and the methods that they use? And so I'm going to tell you that every coach out there is not for everyone, and that you got to do your homework to ask the questions about what their values are when they coach, what their methods that they use, and find out if they're a match and fit. And that's, the reasons why, you have your program, I've got my program. And so there's different things that can be taken advantage of. And a lot of times I will say that having more than one coach and being involved in more than one program, it's very beneficial when you find that you have something that you can work towards that's a good match.
Absolutely. And again, by becoming a part of our community, people have access to people like yourself. It's not just, they don't have just Curtis and myself, you know what I mean? We have so many coaches that we're involved with who have different aspects, different experiences, and help people in so many different ways. And we want people to have that coach. You may not be the coach for me, but I will say this. First of all, yes, they do have a little bit of an agenda. As a coach, we need to get paid for our service.
Yes.
But there's also the added value of, look, put some skin in the game. If this is really important to you, if it matters, pay a little bit, knowing that it's going to help you 6 months to a year to achieve that better life or that goal that you wanted to achieve. So there's the value in coaching and getting involved. And another thing is, I call it 30 minutes and it's free. In other words, we all do these consultations. We all want to get in front of you, have a conversation about how we can help you. And really, that conversation is about you. Tell us about your life. Tell us what's going on. Maybe I'll either help you today, give you some advice or guidance, or put you in touch with somebody else or a resource that's going to help you. Because again, each of these conversations is about the person, we're dealing with. So by having that 30-minute consultation, which usually is free, you can get to know that person like you were talking about and decide if, do I want to work with this person? Do I think they're going to help me? And then make your choices accordingly.
And that's really the value in the program that we have here, is because we have so many different disciplines, modalities, and personality types. And so that price that you're offering for that membership, that VIP, that's the way to go. When you're looking for a program, look for a way that you can have access to different types of coaches, different areas. And so then you can get this holistic approach, because it's all about who we can be as the whole person. We're not part of a person. And, one time we might need to work on our communication skills. Another time it might be we need to land that ideal job. It could be all these different things. And so, yes, absolutely. Everything that you're saying, I embody and agree with those values. And I'm just glad to be a part of this community and being able to, extend our service to more and more people. And I know that this program is going to grow. And so I endorse it.
Thank you. Thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for that endorsement. Thank you for continuing to play that role and to be that valuable coach that people need.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So, and then again, today I'm excited because we've had lots of people coming in and going out and joining us, and we've had lots of information from different people. I got one more person to introduce who just joined us right now. Again, we meet people all over the place. I've had, people I've met in masterminds, in groups, in coaching, in seminars. Another lady I just met in a mastermind in the last several months, and she helps people in an interesting way. You see, we all need help. No matter what level or what we're experiencing, we all need help. Everybody needs a coach and mentor. And this lady helps people who are on the spectrum. In other words, people who are dealing with autism. That's a challenge in itself, but learning how to deal with people who have autism. So Suzanne Plumey, thank you for joining us. Plumley, is it, by the way? I got that right. So thank you. And tell people a little bit about yourself and what it is you do, because I think it's so valuable.
Well, thank you, RJ. It's interesting because what I specifically help is the woman who is going through her life, realizing that there are challenges in her life, can't figure out why there are challenges, but is dealing with them in the best way she can, hopefully with very positive parents that are helping her on the journey. In my case, there wasn't. I'll get to that in a moment and how I can help her there. But what happens is that she's going along. Then she may have a child that now that autism is getting known more and more in the school, she may have a child that shows up on the spectrum. And so she takes the child into the doctor, and the doctor says, so is there autism is hereditary in one form or another. So the doctor says, have you experienced any of these symptoms? And my gosh, the mother says, I have. So what I do is I help the late diagnosed woman who was turned up on the spectrum like I did. I was 51 when I found out I was on the spectrum. Made sense, but it was unknown. Even my mom said, well, the doctors didn't tell me you were autistic. I'm like, Mom, I went to school in the 1970s. Autism wasn't on the radar in 1970s. What I do is I help these women create a positive knowledge of themselves. They get to know who they are, what their tics are. They're not really tics, they're traits. And I like to call them superhuman traits, and I call it Aspies. A lot of people have trouble with Asperger's syndrome because of the association. I call it Aspies because we are taking on our own personal challenges, and yet we can still raise a family. We can still do a lot of things. We are still very visual and we're able to do so much, but we do have the slight intolerance to sound, like music. You put music too loud, I'm a different person. I can't take loud music. You turn on the lights either too bright or too dim, my eyes just can't associate. Or you put me in a room where people are talking and I try and get into the conversation. People don't understand me all the time. I'm getting a lot better. I've been practicing on that, but a lot of people have trouble communicating. For me, it was when I go into interviews, I can't answer the question that they're really looking for. I answer it literally. A lot of ASPE people who go on to interviews go into an interview expecting to answer the question, not knowing that they're not really looking for what your weakness is. It's another word. We don't know that. We answer things on a literal basis. So I help women get into jobs by helping them understand what the question really is. I help them dress better because a lot of women aren't told how to really dress because no one took the time to say, well, this is a dress for work, this is a dress for play, this is, and so on. I think you get the idea. I help people organize themselves and their families to go on vacation, and I get them to know what kind of ways that they can really uplift their lives. And I have been a product of my own study. I have gone through a narcissistic spouse, and now I discovered narcissistic mother. And yet I am an example that tells these women, no, we're not destined to curl up in the corner and be depressed. We can be happy women. We just need to be understood, and I'm going to help people understand us better.
Wow, thank you for that. You've really broken it down into a simplistic discussion, or you've told people exactly what it is that they may be experiencing. The fact that, okay, they're not alone in this area, because you know what, there's so many people who go undiagnosed, not even recognizing that, okay, maybe they have mild symptoms in this area, but it's not a problem. Or, well, I have problems, but I mean, I live with it. You know what I mean? So you're telling people it's okay, we can cope. We just have to learn how to understand this. And then here are some mechanisms in order to deal with this and understand it and live with it a little better.
Self-awareness, understanding that we have so many traits that are actually outside of the box that a lot of people that don't have. Like, we are extremely visual and we're very detail oriented. So we see a lot of things that a lot of people don't see.
Yeah.
So I try and help the woman see that, yeah, we're special. We do have, just like everybody else, we have our traits, but we also have very special skills that if we can put our focus on the skills, then everything else seems to downplay. And I help them not forget about them, but just realize that there's a positive to every negative.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's something we've tried to reiterate here today all day. All of our guests have pretty much said the same thing. Unfortunately, people who are on the spectrum, people who have Asperger's, or people who are, diagnosed as autistic, we in the general public, we don't understand the things that you guys have to deal with. But they have to live a life too. They have to be able to get through and not only just cope, but enjoy that life, be comfortable with that life. So thank you for all you do. We need more people like you who are able to not only accept their disease, but live in it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Experience it and show other people that this is okay. We can cope. Here's how we can do it together.
The name of my business is called Enriching the ASPE Woman's Lifestyle, because I want her to feel that she has every right to a wonderful life as everyone else. And it's just a way of learning how to communicate with her and helping her communicate. It's building a bridge, finding those who will help build a bridge so that she's not doing all the work to fit into the neurotypical world, and the neurotypical isn't bending over backwards to figure out how to get her in. It's a building the bridge, meeting in the middle.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Thank you for explaining it that way, because honestly, you've maybe helped open people's eyes on, you know what, maybe I can understand these people a little better, somebody they're dealing with, somebody they have to live with, that they haven't been able to communicate with, haven't been able to figure out why they have an issue with this or that. But maybe you've opened up some eyes a little. So thank you very much for that. And thank you for all you do. We need more people like you.
Thank you, RJ. I loved coming and helping you out.
Thank you. This was awesome. So that was our show, guys. We've had lots of exciting people join us today. I hope we've showed the value that we are a beacon of leadership. First of all, we are shining the light on leadership. I hope we've demonstrated that today. We are bringing your leadership to light. In other words, we're helping you walk into the light, to share what you have, to share your service, to help build you up so that you can help serve and empower other people. And then again, we are a community where you don't just have access to Curtis and myself, who created this platform, and we are becoming good coaches of our own, but we have access to all of these other coaches and mentors who are going to help walk you through this journey. You've heard that they genuinely want to help you. They definitely want to be of service. Yeah, they're coaches and it may cost you a few dollars, but don't forget that 30 minutes and it's free. Get that consultation, have that conversation with them, discover ways that you may be able to elevate your life or your existence right now, but also discover if this is the person to work with you to help you get to the next level. So that's what we're working for here today. We are Beacon of Leadership. You can find us at www.beaconofleadership.com. You can find us here on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more of exciting. We're here every Friday at 7 p.m. We'll have other opportunities and other programs within us. We want you to become a VIP member. Okay, if you haven't gotten that VIP membership, as of June 10th, it's going to be $97 through our link, www.beaconofleadership.com/members. But until June 10th, we're offering it for free. Go to that same link, beaconofleadership.com/members. Click on the link and get a free membership. We want you to be a VIP. We want you to be a part of this community. Go get involved now for free. I still think it's valuable at our regular price of $147 for a lifetime VIP membership in this community. We're going to be around for a long time. I want you to be a VIP, but get it for free while the opportunity is still available. Until next Friday at midnight, we are offering the VIP lifetime founding membership. So that's been our show. It's been pretty exciting. We've had a lot of people share their values with you, share their experience with you. We want to continue to be part of your life. So please like and subscribe. Please visit our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Beacon of Leadership, to become a part of our community. Again, we're not just a community. There's a lot more to it to come. I call it an institute of fellowship. We are going to be working together for a better tomorrow, as my vision is. So that's all to come in the Beacon of Leadership community. I hope you've enjoyed this special broadcast. Normally we're not 2 hours long, but I wanted everybody to enjoy the value and to be involved and to get as much from this day as possible. I hope it was exciting. There's more to come. Please stay tuned. Please stay with us. We are Beacon of Leadership. Until next time, better days ahead.